What episode is it?
Season 1, Episode 9, featuring Tim Draper.
IRL. You have no idea what it means.
No, I do now. I was gonna say and he's gonna be with us too. You know where we're going?
Yeah.
Whoa. It's very weird. Not driving. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm driving. The reason being, we're in California to do a special edition episode with someone in person. And Jonathan doesn't drive away from what he calls safe zones, which is basically a 10-mile radius within his house.
6-mile radius.
And so I have to drive when we're in California, basically.
The roads are just so curvy.
They are more curvy. Why is there no GPS reception in Palo Alto?
I don't have the internet here yet. What do you do all the time when I'm driving? This is so strange. There's nothing to do.
Like I said, I think of funny things to say while you drive and be
But
boring.
you're not funny.
I carry the series.
That is baloney.
Jonathan, come on, dude.
Remember when we were at the conference recently, and the guy came up to both of us and was like, "Oh, Jonathan, you're the guy from Carpool," and then looked at you and was like, "Hi." You don't need to. That plane looks like it's not even moving. Look at it. Do you think I can run faster than an airplane? Do you think so?
No,
That one is moving pretty slow.
Yeah, you're right. What do you think your top speed is running?
18 miles an hour.
You think so?
Okay.
Come here.
Should I go on the sidewalk? Wait.
No. You can't go on the sidewalk.
There's a car. I don't want to get hit by a car.
You're going to be on the right side.
It's going to look like I'm going to trying to steal your car.
Good, Terminator it.
Okay.
Run after me with your steel clamp. Just run.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sprint. Are you sprinting? Are you seriously? Was that as fast as you could go? Was that really as fast as you could go?
How fast was I going?
I was cruising past you at 15.
No.
Yeah.
You accelerated too fast.
Were you really sprinting?
I mean, I'm wearing loafers.
I got it. What are you doing? Why are you... Okay, you're gonna blame the loafers?
Yeah, these are.
It looked like you were faking it. It looked like you were fake running.
I thought I was pinching my toe on here to make sure my shoes stayed on. I went 20 miles an hour without shoes.
20 miles an hour. You didn't come close.
We picked someone up along the way.
I see that.
He needs a ride. This is Can
you drive me to Hawaii?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
So, this is the infamous Tim Draper, who needed a ride, so we thought we'd be kind enough to drive him around town.
Very thoughtful of you. I'm so pleased to be here and you gave me a really nice seat in your car, too.
That's the seat of honor in this car.
I like it. I think it's great. Yeah.
For anyone at home who doesn't know, Tim started the entire venture capital industry in 1962. And, oh, by the way,
we probably should clear this up.
Yeah.
Actually, my grandfather started the venture capital
Wasn't it your
business.
Great-grandfather?
No, it was my grandfather.
Oh, so your grandfather. What year was it really?
Billy's great-grandfather. And Adam's, and Jesse's and Eleanor's. It was 1957, and he was the first Silicon Valley venture capitalist. And then my dad was a real pioneer, and he really drove venture capital in a big way here.
And your dad's the one who found Skype.
No, I actually found Skype.
I'm just kidding. We actually we asked your son what is a question we could get you on, and he said, "Tell him that Grandpa found Skype."
Well, actually, okay. When you interview my son, ask him who won the last chess game.
Okay, deal.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so we've got a lot of questions for you, and
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm not staring at you the entire time, but
Okay.
I feel rude.
Look to the camera.
I know this is my
Only one of us needs to look forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So, Jonathan.
Who's?
so we've got a couple questions. First of all, you've made some insanely technical investments like SpaceX, Tesla, and then plenty of others. I'm curious, how do you run a diligence process on a company so complicated?
Well, those are different, but in general, it's not complicated for me. I look and I say, is this person thinking 15 years out? Are they driving something that 15 years from now will be a thing? And the question I'm always asking is not what could go wrong, which would drive me crazy, but what if it works? So I ask the question, what if it works? And in the case of electric car company, if it works, it's really, really super big. And here's what happened to me. I was in I got a ride, same kind of ride, but I was in a little hobbyist jalopy, and he said, strap in. And I said, what do you mean strap in? It's an electric car. It's like a golf cart, right? And he said, no, strap in. So I strap in, and the thing takes off like a rocket. And then he has to come, he's like 20 feet, he's going 60 miles an hour. He's 20 feet from a stoplight, and he puts on the brakes, and the car stops perfectly right in front of the stoplight. And I thought, oh my gosh, you don't have to be a tree hugger or a golfer to really love electric cars. And I said, wow, this performance is amazing. And then we kind of went through things like, well, what's the range and all that stuff.
But what about like the actual technical components?
So then I said, what's the battery here? And he says, lithium ion, and they blow up. And so then it turns out that...
This is transparent.
Yeah. And then it turns out that... and then I thought, well, this is a big deal, so let me just go out and check with a bunch of the other hobbyists. And they all were mentioning this guy, Martin Eberhard, who was running Tesla. And what he had done, I interviewed him, and what he had done is he had put lots of small batteries in series, so if any one of them blew up, it could route around it. And by putting them all in series, they could give you more torque. And so I thought, you might as well go for the one with the best technology, because the market's going to be what the market is going to be. And so we backed it, and then the company was almost out of business, and Elon Musk, who had been an investor with us before in Tesla at the beginning, he said, well, here's some money, but I'm going to run it. And we were all delighted. And so then Elon made the thing magically happen, and the timing on everything was just perfect. Somehow he was able to borrow $400 million from the government, and then about, I don't know, what was it, a year later he paid the whole thing back. And then he created the greatest car that's ever been anywhere. That S car is amazing, and now the X, I think, is even better. So I'll see, actually, because I ordered one. In fact, I'm never going to buy another gas-powered car, and I'm glad you're going to air this in Detroit.
No,
as we're driving in a Jeep.
Yeah.
It's a rental.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question for you.
Yeah.
Where are all your Bitcoin stored? I want to know that so I can rob you.
Longitude
Okay,
and
well,
latitude.
that's one of those things. Here's the deal.
Longitude.
I don't even know.
Beats me.
So that's the good news.
That's the good news.
As long as I don't know, then no one else can
Plausible
find out.
deniability.
We don't need to kidnap him now.
Yeah, that's the good
Yeah.
news. There are lots of good Bitcoin companies out there, though, that I'm also an investor in.
So we actually were
I'm loving it.
we're an early investor in Avish from Vorum. which
Isn't
now
he
became-
wonderful?
Which is
Now Mirror.
fantastic.
He's phenomenal. Hi,
And
Avish.
so
Hey, Avish.
when you guys partnered together, we were very, very excited.
He's got a really interesting new business coming, and I can't wait. So I'm glad you're in
That's a
business.
big endorsement, Avish. When we originally invested, though, we were the very first investors. He was in Ann Arbor. He came to visit us in Michigan. He told us all about Bitcoin, and we pretended for about an hour to understand what he was talking about, but had no idea what on earth he was talking about. But we were like, this kid is so smart. Like, we have to put some money
Have to
behind
back
him.
him anyway.
Yeah. And then when he left,
Good.
we just started like calling everyone like, what is this thing and what just happened?
It did. I think it took everybody a while to really figure out what that was all about.
Is it time to buy or sell right now?
Oh, you just always want to buy. It's a limited number of Bitcoin out there, and you've got, it's the equivalent of going from, I want to say, trading shells to dollar bills, I think, is the difference between what we've got now and Bitcoin. Because, just so everybody out there knows, if you don't already, Bitcoin is like a ledger, and it's a secure, trusted third party, where you've got right now everybody uses the bank as their trusted third party, and the banks have exploited that for years. I mean, our banks have got big margins and everything's great for banks, but banks have created friction in our economy. There is friction. What'd you do now?
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the gasoline-powered cars.
Yeah, you're not allowed those in Silicon Valley.
You didn't check with
I
emergency.
hope everybody's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I look and I say, this is a great opportunity for us to decrease the friction and increase the fluidity of markets, and the more fluid and liquid a market is, the richer the population. So when people were dragging around shells, that was sort of a hard way to do business. And then it got to be gold, and it was a little easier. But then it was the promise of gold that was much easier. And then it got to be where we ran out of gold, and so it was like, okay, how about the promise of the government? And that was sort of a nice thing, some security there, until 2008, when people said, wait, I'm not sure I trust my government, and is the dollar going to collapse, and what are we going to use for a currency? And then all of a sudden you think, wait a second, maybe we need something that's completely independent. And I think that's where Bitcoin comes in, and Bitcoin's going to be amazing, and the blockchain's going to be amazing, because the blockchain also allows for things like stampery. You guys all use stampery. It'll save you a fortune in legal fees for patents, because you can just put your earlier what do they call it, prior art. You put all your prior art down, and it gets date stamped, and it's on the blockchain, and it's done. So then you don't have anything to worry about, because you can defend yourself just the way you could with a patent or a provisional patent. So I think this is the beginning of something quite extraordinary. So I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see actually many features of antiquated government being replaced by the blockchain.
So that actually leads us into a very similar question, which is, do you have any tattoos?
It is related. I've only done the henna tattoos. And
you don't have
so
a giant
have one
Bitcoin logo on your chest or something? Or Draper University across your back?
I probably should, but I'd run out of arms and legs.
If you had to get one tattoo.
If I put all the logos on my body, it would just be
you'd be.
like
how many companies have you invested in? Do you know?
Over 1,000.
Wow.
I don't know how many, but over 1,000. And that number just keeps exploding up, because I just keep seeing more and more really interesting things to put money into.
How do you manage that? Like, I've always heard from people you've invested in that you really have an authentic relationship with them and you promote them like crazy. How do you manage 1,000 companies?
Well, the key is really to help whenever you can and make that connection when the company needs it, and not impose yourself on the company when they don't need you. In fact, I can name about 4 companies I've screwed up for every one that I've helped, and the one that I helped the most probably was Hotmail, because I came up with that viral marketing idea, and that was the beginning of all viral marketing, which is like huge and so exciting that I had something to do with it. 85.
If you get an email today and it's from someone at hotmail.com, do you feel differently about opening it versus something else?
I think, first, why does he still have a Hotmail account? And then second, I think, hey, he's got a Hotmail account.
Right.
That's
so
right. So all of the entrepreneurs who would like to pitch Tim Draper, set up a Hotmail account.
Send it through Hotmail.
And send it through Hotmail. And verify it with the blockchain.
Yeah.
Cool.
At the peak, I think they had 500 million Hotmail users.
That is unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah. And of course, everybody else used the same thing to spread. Google Mail, Gmail did the same thing. Yahoo Mail did the same thing. They all used my viral marketing. And I actually made a conscious decision not to create IP protection for it because I came up with it, and I thought, hey, this could be something I could patent and protect, and I thought, this is one of those things that is just going to really help the world, and I just thought, and I can just say, hey, look, I did it.
How?
I don't need the money.
No. That how successful were you? Though,
I also
at that
was
time?
making all my money as an investor, and I felt like that's kind of the role of an entrepreneur or inventor who needs to protect their IP. And I kind of thought, well, no, this is what I give to my entrepreneurs. Give it away.
Do you think that had you not had any big wins yet at that point, you would have been as giving as you were?
I wouldn't have probably come up with it if I hadn't. Let's see, Hotmail was really one of my early wins. I had, I did make the seed investment in parametric technology, which was the first mechanical CAD company that could flip from 2D to 3D design, and that was a big deal.
That was a big one.
And that was a big return. So I guess I already had some success.
Right.
I don't know. If I had no money and I didn't know the language and I was scraping to get by, I'd do anything.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd probably do whatever it took.
I'd
probably be a lot less magnanimous.
These carpool episodes that you're now involved in,
yeah,
they cost us on average, about $1 to $2 to produce.
Well,
So
wait, if you were in a Tesla, it'd be $1 or $2.
Right.
You're blowing at about 10. In
Okay,
gas.
so let's call it $10.
Of course, you were going in the same direction anyway, weren't you?
Right. Exactly.
So at $10 an episode,
Okay.
we always are looking for sponsors to lift the heavy burden of the $10. But
here, let me see. I think I've got it.
wait, but for you, we're going to give you a better deal.
No, I think I'll just pay the $10.
No. You are a smart dude. Here's the better deal.
Abort.
Here. It's 20. I'm doing 20, so I don't have to do whatever it is.
We missed out
about to ask
on $999,980 investment for
That's
this.
good. I've just sponsored your show.
Carpool.vc.
I want to be listed as a sponsor.
Episode 9, sponsored by the man himself, Tim Draper. You are a gem. Thank you very much for hanging out with us.
That was fun.
Good, and thanks for the ride.
Well,
I know this area much better than I did before we started.
Yeah.
You're going to want to take a right here.
Okay. Just break all the traffic laws and hit some pedestrians, and we'll just make it work.
Okay, good. You
Dude,
did
That was
well.
entrepreneurial. Thank you.
Yeah, and then you can just, I'm right there. It's
Cool.
perfect.
He's itching to get out of the car.
Okay, this was... No. Hey, no. I am listed now as a sponsor of your show.
You're a sponsor.
No, and you're going to take that and you're going to spend it on gas.
No, really.
No, I'm
Absurd.
serious.
No.
Fight.
Actually, here, that's what you
I'm
can do.
absolutely serious.
Spend it on legislation to split the state up into 6 different states. Now is my contribution.
Okay. So you are now a contributor
Now
to
we're
6 California.
Yeah, 6 California. Yeah.
Okay, now in that case, I will take it back.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Good. That was
my
Yeah,
door.
you're in.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
You're the
Cool.
man. Thank you.
Thank you. San Mateo, California, fa la 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 la.
Please stop singing. You're hurting my ears. La 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 la. Park.
You were more off key than me.
No, I wasn't. You were.
Yes, I
Don't tell me
was.
what
You're
to
off
do.
key. I'm a better singer than I'm